6. Carl drove 617 and 3/10 miles. For each gallon of gas, the car can travel 41 miles. Select a reasonable estimate of the number of gallons of gas Carl used. Mark all that apply. So let's unpack this question. We have 617 and 3/10 miles that were driven by Carl. And we have also, for 1 gallon of gas, or each gallon of gas, the car can travel 41 miles. And what they want us to do is select a reasonable estimate of the number of gallons of gas Carl used. And this is the big one right here. Mark all that apply. If that tells me that there's probably more than one. So if I find one that makes sense, well, I should probably check the other ones to make sure that I'm not leaving anything out so I can get the full credit. So let's look at this. If I know that he drove 617 3/10 of a mile, let's say this is that distance, well, each gallon will get 41 miles. So let's say this is 41 miles, and this is 1 gallon, right? And we just want to know how many groups of 41 could we fit in there. For this one, what I actually would do is I would round 41 down to 40. So let's see. I would change 41 into 40. I would change 617 and 3/10 into 600. And then I would actually make it a little bit easier for myself, and I would drop a 0 and think of it as 4 and 60. And then I would divide 60 divided by 4 and kind of see where that got me. So if I broke 60 into 4 groups, I could do it this way. So let's see, 6 divided by 4, I can put that into 1 time. 4, I'm going to go down 2, bring down. It's going to be 5, 20, and I'm done. So 15. So 15 gallons is a reasonable estimate, I would say. Now, it doesn't matter that I dropped these zeros because I took 1 from each of them. In one of our lessons, we talked about how you can add zeros and it will keep your quotient, which was 15, the same. So since I took 1 away and 1 away, my quotient would be the same had I divided 600 divided by 40. And then another way that you could think about it is you might think that 16 is a reasonable estimate, and 16 could be a reasonable estimate because there you might have rounded your numbers to be a little bit different than mine. So I would say that 16 is also a reasonable estimate. 1 and 5/10 would not be a reasonable estimate because for each gallon of gas, the car can travel 41 miles. So he only would be able to travel 41 for that whole, and then half of a gallon would get him half of 41 miles. So that would only be around 60 miles. So that won't make sense. This doesn't make sense. And then also 150 gallons, he would be able to drive way more than 617 and 3/10 of a mile. So those ones are why they don't make sense. Number 7. Donald bought a box of golf balls for $9.54. There were 18 golf balls in the box. How much did each golf ball cost? So I have my numbers of $9.54 and 18 golf balls. And they want to know about how much did each golf ball cost. Well, right here, this about tells us that we don't need to actually give a concrete answer, we need to give an estimate. So what I'm going to do is look at my numbers. And 18, when I see that, I'm going to round that up to 20. And $9.54, that's pretty much $10. Now what I notice about these is I have a 20 and I have a 10. 10 is half of 20. So if there are 20 golf balls, I need to assign them into this $10, to break up that $10 amongst the 20 golf balls. And I kind of think of this as, well, if I had 20 golf balls and $20, I could know that each golf ball would be $1, right? But since I only have half of that, well, then I need to keep going off of that. And here I'll draw it out so I don't confuse you guys. So if I think of it as if I had 20 golf balls, and $20, each golf ball would be $1, right? But I'm going to take away half of that money, and I only have $10. So I need to take away half of that, which would leave it as 50 cents. So each golf ball is going to be about 50 cents. So each golf ball is about 50 cents. Lou cut down a tree that was 28 and 8/10 feet tall. Then he cut the tree into 8 equal pieces to take it away. What is the length of each piece? So they want to know the length of each piece. To find that, I am going to use my numbers of my total tree, which is 28 and 8/10 feet tall, that he cut into 6 equal pieces. So if I have my tree, and this total length is 28 and 8/10 feet tall, and I'm going to chop it into 6 pieces. How much is each piece going to be? To do that, I need to write out, actually I'm going to do it a little bit higher so I have room to write underneath. I liked using scratch paper yesterday. Okay, so total length of my tree, 28 and 8/10 feet tall, and I have 6 pieces. So now I'm going to start. 6 into 2, can't do that. So now I need to be thinking about 28 instead of just my 2. I'll put a 0 as a placeholder. 28. Well, all right, I'm going to count by 6s. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. All right, so I have to back up. So I got to 4, so I can stop there. Multiply. 6 times 4 is 24. Subtract. Bring down. And I know my 6s. I know 6 times 8 is 48. And that's going to multiply, subtract, nothing to bring down, and then add my decimal above it. So I have 4 and 8/10 pieces after I split it into my 6 pieces. So they are 4 and 8/10 feet long. Samantha is making some floral arrangements. The table shows prices for 1/2 dozen of each type of flower. So this is going to be important to think about. Roses for 1/2 dozen is $5.29. Carnations are $3.59. Tulips are $4.79. Well, how much is a full dozen? A full dozen equals 12. So a 1/2 dozen is going to equal 6. So for 6 roses, it's $5.29. For 6 carnations, it's this price. Tulips, 6 of them is that price. So Samantha wants to buy 6 roses, 4 carnations, and 8 tulips. She estimates that she will spend about $14 on these flowers. Do you agree? Explain your answer. So they want to know, is a $14 estimate probable, or would you be able to back that up? Well, let's look at it, and we're going to explain our answer. All right, so she wants to buy 6 roses. Well, they're sold for $5.29 for 6 of them. Now, for an estimate, I'm going to take my $5.29 and I'm going to just put it into $6. So, roses. Now, for carnations, she only wants 4 of those. So, for 6 of them, it is $3.59. So, you actually need for this one to find out the price of each carnation. And who knows if they would even sell them and break them apart, but we're going to do it for the sake of this math. So for carnations, we will do, let's make $3.59. Let's just convert it into $4 to make it easy. Should be adding my dollar signs. All right, so I need to break $4 into 6 different groups. So I know that each group is going to be less than $1, because if I'm breaking into 6 groups and I only have $4, each group would not be able to get a full dollar. So I'm going to think about how I could start to break it up. Well, I'm going to try, let's see, if I had 75 cents in each group, I'm going to start working backwards from $1. Let's see what this comes out to be. 5 times 6 is 30, 42, plus 3. All right, so that would be $4.50. I could do that. So I'm going to say that's close enough, rounded up $1. Sure. All right, so 75 cents times how many she wants to buy for. So 5 times 4 is 20, 28. So that's going to be $3.